on the Count of Podcast.
Podcast!
I want you to pause for a moment and think about the number of people who are fucking right now.
Oh, I am actually thinking about it now.
I don't want to know. That really feels like it's not my business.
Say what you will, but it's mine.
Shall we retreat to the safety first, though, of the 1800s?
Let's.
All right.
What blew my mind, though, is that we didn't get 1 ounce of cholera in the first movie, and I was really kind of waiting for that. It's fine.
Who goes through the 1800s without cholera, am I right?
Who even are you? Are you even 1800s if you didn't get cholera?
At least 3 of the people in that movie had syphilis as well, so there you go. Just to really get down to a macro level of talking about the 1800s.
But it was a beautiful film.
Yes, we're talking about the Age of Innocence, the first of 2 movies this week, directed by Martin Scorsese, written by Jay Cox. Don't laugh at that.
Too bad. C-O-C-K-S. You should have changed your name before you wrote it.
Oh, man.
Just saying.
The film stars Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Winona Ryder in the story of proper 1800s romance. Daniel Day-Lewis has fallen in love with Winona Ryder, supposedly. Or is it that he just has been assigned her as sort of property?
I'm pretty sure that was the assignment. You get this very, and she's so young. She's only 20, obviously. Mm-hmm. She's very young in this film. And what was he in his 30s? I know Michelle Pfeiffer was 34 when she made this
He's
one.
15 years older than she is. She's 14 years older than Winona Ryder is. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, the way they play. So basically, and they apply this early on. Daniel Day-Lewis's character actually did know Michelle Pfeiffer's character when they were children, when they were very young.
Yes.
And that there's like a story there where where even Winona Ryder acknowledged, like, there was a young woman, years ago who I thought you were going to be in love with, and I never thought I would have a chance with you. And
it turns out you were right, sweetheart.
So Martin Scorsese called this his most violent movie.
What? We missed the violence.
In violence, in terms of how the people with the words are more hurtful than the people with the actual guns and bombs and knives. These are some nasty people who say nasty things.
But they were very flowery with their language.
Yeah.
And personally, if we did that today, I'd be thrilled. I would take a lot of these insults that I get normally and turn them into compliments. I would. But that's just me. Wow, I guess I didn't see it that way.
You didn't see it that way. Okay.
But, whatever Marty says, I try to go with whatever Marty says. Marty.
So what was the first thing that stood out to either of you? By the way, I'm Sean Patrick, professional film critic. Amy, MJ.
Oh, hi. Sorry. We didn't see you there.
we were just talking about this movie and a podcast started. And we have no idea how that happened.
Yeah. Podcasts?
Well, you were taking a nap, and I just said maybe we should carry Fuzzy out there and put him on the podcast. And you enjoyed that. Well, no, now you want to go back to bed, though.
I enjoy bedtime.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy the Age of Innocence?
Well, they were innocent.
Some of them were innocent.
It's true. It's fair.
It was a very pretty movie.
It's gorgeous looking.
It is. It absolutely is.
Very pretty movie.
Did you have any judgments about the characters?
You did, because you actually said some things in there, like, especially when it came to his character and then Winona Ryder's character.
I think in this movie, Winona Ryder is absolutely gorgeous, so I can't see anyone choosing anyone else over her. It just doesn't make much sense to me, but
Speaking of Newland Archer trying to choose Madame Olenska, Countess Olenska, instead of his own wife, May, played by Winona Ryder.
Who just looked like a little doll in this movie. She just was a China doll, Winona Ryder was.
how does being towards the end she gets pregnant? How does that work with the corset? Do you get to drop the corset if you're pregnant?
No, they have to plan that hours, maybe even days in advance.
Baby's born. You can't take the corset off. You just have to have the baby with the corset.
Oh God! And you still have to maintain that gorgeous figure of yours throughout 9 months of painful pregnancy. Turn around. I gotta tighten that up a little bit.
Oh God!
I mean, it already looked like Winona was like missing most of her ribs in her dress, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yikes!
It was terrifying. It was terrifying to look at.
I couldn't live in that period of time. I would be like Miriam Margoly's character in there. I'm just like, put me on a chair, give me 7 Pomeranians, and as much, I don't know, sherry that you have in a bottle, and I'll be fine.
They're show dogs. They get nervous.
They got fucking papers.
They got fucking papers.
No, so yeah, okay. So I echo what Fuzzy said, because it's something that you notice very early on is just how pretty this movie is.
It's gorgeous.
It is, and the score is quite beautiful as well. I love, aside from the opera, because I don't believe in opera as an art form.
What do you say about what was it you were saying about opera?
Opera's no different than heavy metal. It's just people screaming at you. That's all it is. And I stand by that, and you cannot change my mind. Sorry.
Baby Thomas Gibson in that scene.
It didn't even fucking look like him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not Greg of the famed Dharma and Greg television show on ABC.
Yeah.
But it was him.
It was him.
It took me a minute. I'm like, I think you're full of shit, but no. But again, not many people would be looking at a Scorsese film looking for Thomas Gibson.
No.
We should just say that, you know.
True.
So
he's also just barely in the movie. Just barely there.
Yeah.
So one of the things that stood out to me, and I know that you may not be aware of the imagery here, but it took in a lot with me, and that is the flowers. There's a lot of flower imagery. We start off like one of the first thing you see under the credits is flowers,
right.
And then the first thing you see with the opera singer is that she has a flower in her hand. I'm like, Scorsese, he's not somebody who goes half measures. So if he's got an image that he's expressing in the opening scene, this means something. So I went online. I paused the movie while I was watching, and I went online to look up the meaning of flowers.
Right.
And each of the flowers early on that he's choosing have a purpose.
Okay.
So the yellow flower that you see has multiple different meanings. Yellow is usually meant to be a romantic rejection. Usually. Under most circumstances. So we see the opera singer giving this man a yellow flower. She's rejecting his romantic advances.
What a bitch. I mean, if we didn't actually see the opera, he could have been a total tool. But, okay, so that's one.
You pan the crowd, you land on Daniel Day-Lewis, Newland. Mm-hmm. He's wearing a white carnation.
Right.
White carnation means innocence, pure love, and sweet love. So it's kind of both, it's true of him in that moment, but it's also meant to be ironic later on because he's not,
Yeah.
So it's a commentary upon him in a very unique way.
Okay.
Later on in the movie, he sends yellow roses to Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Now,
Ellen.
you thought you knew what this meant.
Because it's correct.
You're wrong.
You're not right.
I am absolutely, because I am looking at the Old Farmer's Almanac meaning of flowers. That's what I looked up with.
The meaning has changed over the
years. 1800s, I kid you not, everything that you did with a flower in the 1800s meant something. So if you sent it with a bow tied to the left or the right, that meant something. If you who you had send your flowers, whether you did it yourself or you had somebody else doing it, that meant something. The color of the flower could mean something. The kind of flower meant something. Yellow rose means jealousy, decrease of love, and infidelity. It is intended to show you that, first of all, he's jealous of Beaufort, who is also romancing.
Beaufort!
Damn you, Beaufort!
Yeah, correct.
He's trying to romance Ellen,
right?
Michelle Pfeiffer, and our guy Newland, right. Daniel Day-Lewis, is very jealous of that.
Our guy.
He's our guy. He also has a decrease of love for a moment because he's like, I can't believe you're with Beaufort and not me. But also, infidelity is another foreshadowing because he wants to be unfaithful to his wife and he just can't do it. because society just continues to build these walls around him. He thinks there's a conspiracy just to keep him from fucking Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well,
There kind of is.
there kind of is. I mean, it's because it seems like and the whole town, really, the whole part of New York that they were in,
Mm-hmm.
everybody knew, or everybody thought,
Yeah.
which, even though they hadn't actually consummated it, they were basically fucking in their heads.
Consummate the marriage! Oh! Little Andrew Dice Clay there.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, legend. Legend that he
Legend.
is.
Legend that he
No,
is.
not really. He sucks.
It's
It's garbage.
garbage.
Even ironically, it's unfunny.
Jack and Jill went up the hill. What did he say? Jack came down with a buck and a quarter?
Oh, God.
Fuck you, Angel.
Wow.
Dice Clay.
Fuck right off, please. Yeah, all the flowers, I mean, the flowers that you
That's
see
fascinating.
mean a little bit of something different, and Scorsese is using them to foreshadow, like the red roses that Beaufort sends her and she sends away. She's trying to turn away his love, and he's saying, I love you. And that's the thing, is that Beaufort's entire story, if you're paying attention, plays out entirely off screen. All of the stuff that happens with Beaufort, whether it's him telling Ellen that he loves her, that happens off screen. He does it with roses. His fate after his family is destroyed and he's found out for cheating. It's all found out via dialogue secondhand.
Right.
And it's all playing out as a subtle warning to Newland. Like, this could happen to you. That's why we're talking about Beaufort.
Right.
We're talking about Beaufort to the side of you to let you know you're in trouble if you continue doing what you're doing, Newland.
That's true. I guess I wouldn't have seen that. All the symbolism in it, actually, and then all the foreshadowing. I was too busy, cursing Beaufort.
Beaufort!
Like every single time. It made me laugh. Well, especially like when it would pan to Day-Lewis and like there'd be like a card or something that would have Beaufort's name on it. And it just was very fun to do that. Like it's Animal House, like you're the dean of Animal House.
So do you know did you hear what May's flower was?
May's flower.
From her husband.
Oh, no.
So her flower is the lily of the valley.
Lily of the Valley. Okay, I remember
That's
when
what
he was in the shop.
he has to be reminded, by the way, to send his wife flowers. He goes into the flower shop,
That's
and
right.
and the guy goes, "Oh, would you like us to send flowers to your wife as well?"
Yeah, make it a standing order, he said. Yeah, you better do that because shit's about to get fucked up.
So her flower means, and this is perfect. This is a perfect description of Winona Ryder's character: sweetness, tears of the virgin, and humility.
Oh, she was so sweet. And nothing that, like, what I liked,
But she got savage at the end.
she did. But okay, that's the thing about her. About one of my favorite things about this movie was that they could have easily made her into this little, do-gooder young,
Like a simp, yeah.
Yeah, and instead she was asking him questions in such a roundabout way that she could catch him in lies. She's no fucking dummy. And she played that to her advantage. But yet she was still a very sweet young woman.
Well, yeah,
She had every right to get pissy when she got pissy.
the narrator, Joanne Woodward, by the way,
Yes.
is totally mocking her throughout. Like the whole thing about her doing needlepoint,
Yeah.
like because she has no imagination. And it's like the way, that's how you call somebody stupid in the
Right.
1800s. This person
Yes.
lacks imagination. If you want to insult anybody in the future, just say, they kind of lack imagination. Don't they?"
Sorry, but you may lack a bit of imagination.
That's how you should handle customers in a customer
Should.
situation.
Yes, absolutely.
I think this customer lacks imagination. Excuse me.
I could never tell anyone that. Although I do plan on using it now. So. Yeah. So yeah, I do like that. You know what? But again, it's like, I liked Michelle Pfeiffer's character as well because this was a woman that was very independent. Definitely didn't feel like she wouldn't allow herself to be pulled around by her husband. She knew what kind of life she wanted to live, but she also, and even though she gave in a few times,
Mhm.
with Dear Daniel's character, you could tell that she's still like she would run away from him. I don't need this in my life. It's not that I don't want you, but this can't happen, bro. And I think she actually said that in one scene.
Yo, this can't happen, bro.
Can't happen, bro. And Daniel Day-Lewis's character's like,
she might have been a little bit more.
I think you broke character there, Michelle.
He might have been a little bit more eloquent. No, I loved what she actually did say. Is like, if we did this, you wouldn't be the man that I love.
Correct.
And like, it's such a that's such a great dichotomy. Like, yeah, like she totally wants to sleep with him, but if she does, it proves that he's not this, fidelity man, this like the wonderful husband and sweetheart of a man.
Yes.
Because he's cheating on his wife. Like,
I can't respect you. Actually, I think that's kind of like my whole thing with me. If you like me, I no longer respect you. So it can never be. So let's just go back to you being an asshole, and I'll go on my merry way. Thank you, Michelle, for personifying that for me. Beautiful.
So MJ, are you familiar with the method, in terms of acting?
Method acting.
Are you MJ? Are you familiar with the method?
Less phony
acting?
phone, more talky talk. Method acting.
Oh,
You've heard of method acting.
So
you
what?
actually even know some method
Tell us about what you know of it.
I might be wrong.
It's all right. Be wrong. It's cool.
I think you're gonna be.
I don't like being wrong.
Hey, Jared Leto. We've talked about it. Jared Leto, method actor. Like he decides he's going to be a total asshole, like when he's playing the Joker, and on the outside,
so he had to be the Joker.
Yeah, so he had to be the Joker and be like a real asshole to his co-stars. We've talked about this before.
Okay, then I am correct in that. There was my first experience with this then was victorious.
That's okay. That's perfect.
They did a method acting episode where they were all given a character and they had to act like that character at their teacher's house all night.
No.
Otherwise, they were out, and they were given very interesting characters. The main character, Tori, was she was a cop that wore way too much red lipstick and was really obsessed with Raisin Bran. There was Robbie, who was a motivational speaker with jelly legs.
So he kept falling over.
Yes. There was Beck, the foreign man, who is really hard to understand and kept getting in people's personal space.
That sounds offensive.
Sounds very
offensive, yeah. And then there was Kat. She was the bad comedian that only told jokes about being on an airplane.
Airline food,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and then there was Andre, the pregnant marathon runner.
I'm actually here for that one.
It was fantastic, but then his grandmother showed up, and she's out of her mind, so then she got him to get out of character, and he had to go home.
Oh, no.
He was doing really well up until then.
Daniel Day-Lewis is a well-known character actor. He was in a movie called My Left Foot, where he was missing a leg and two arms, so they had to carry him. He made people carry him to the set every day, pick him up physically and carry him, and set him down on the set because his character only had one leg.
I'm gonna show you a picture because you deserve to see this. Yeah. So I mean, he went like full, all in. People carry it. Let's see it.
Yeah, they pick him up and carry him to the set. He's just notable for this type of behavior of becoming his character in such a fashion that it's uncomfortable for everybody else.
But the fucker won an Oscar for it, didn't he?
He did, because oftentimes, and I've said this countless times, sometimes the most acting wins over the best acting. And I'm not saying that's necessarily Daniel Day-Lewis's thing, that he does the most acting, but oftentimes actors I think actors are deeply insecure for the most part, and sometimes it feels like they need to do something to say, hey, look at me, I'm acting. Acting. Which is one of the, I swear to God, that Lovitz and oh God, Third Rock from the Sun guy.
John Lithgow.
Lithgow together doing his SNL bit where it's acting. They're just both extraordinarily over the top and going crazy, and that's how they demonstrate it to let you know that they're acting. And I think actors in Hollywood especially like to show you so much of their acting. But it reminds me of this quote that I just recently heard about Dustin Hoffman, who's famously like a method guy as well, to the point where like he actually slapped Meryl Streep on the set of Kramer versus Kramer because that's what his character would have done.
Secretly, he just wanted to.
He wanted to, yeah. So he's doing all this bullshit on the set of Marathon Man, and he's acting opposite Sir Laurence Olivier. And Laurence Olivier says to Dustin Hoffman, "Dear boy, why don't you just try acting?"
Burn.
Best burn ever.
Wow. I did not know that about Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, he's the worst. He's a terrible human being.
Wow, but
he's god awful.
Did he do that for Tootsie?
He did it for everything.
Yeah, but
he's the worst. I hate Dustin Hoffman so much.
I did not know you hated Dustin Hoffman.
I loathe Dustin Hoffman.
Wow.
I loathe Rain Man. I'm not a fan of Tootsie. I ever since I heard that Meryl Streep story, like all of his worst qualities come out to me now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did Meryl Streep ever come out and like talk about that?
Oh, she's mentioned it.
That time that he slapped me.
Slapped her. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a dick.
He's a piece of shit.
He's you know what? Cut list.
Put Dustin Hoffman on the cut list.
My pencil. Here we go.
Add that name. Yes.
Wow. Well, I don't think I have Jared Leto on here either.
Dustin, why don't you try acting, buddy? Let's just go with an acting. How about that? Maybe just do an acting this time.
Dustin Hoffman.
Daniel Day-Lewis, I mean, for this one, his idea of method was he checked into the oldest hotel in New York City, and he dressed like his character and had them bring him food that his character would have eaten.
Shut up. Are you serious?
In the 1800s.
So did he get like any sort of salmonella or anything like that? By the way, don't cook that food. We don't cook food.
No.
Wow. Wow. No.
You know, just imagine you're walking down the hallway to your hotel room and there's Daniel Day-Lewis dressed in 1800s tuxedo.
Did he really did that?
He really did that.
He really did
For
that.
3 solid weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks before they started shooting.
Holy
I'm assuming that he also remained in character, you know, like, he's one of those guys who like, okay, I'm not Daniel. You have to call me Newland.
Oh, God. I would smack him so hard.
Okay, let's not.
I'm not calling you that.
No.
Like, anything to undermine that. No, we're not doing that, sir.
All right,
No.
Daniel. Hey, Dan. You want something from craft services? Dan.
Danny boy. Fucking idiot. Sorry.
I'm also not going to call you sir. He is a sir. He was knighted.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Anybody who accepts a
Sir
knighthood
Daniel
can fuck
Day-Lewis.
themselves. I'm sorry.
What about Sir Elton John?
Fuck yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't believe in knighthoods and that whole. It's just a bunch of bullshit.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
It's just bullshit.
Wait.
What about the Rose and the Doctor?
That's
They were
different.
knighted.
Yeah, but that's because it was long before like the whole like pomp and circumstance of it. She literally did that outside of Torchwood. Does it really count? No.
What about Sir Robert Sheehan?
He's not knighted. You could call him if you
knighted.
call him Sir Robert Sheehan. I think that'd be great. If he was knighted, go fuck yourself, Robbie.
You know who should be knighted?
Jurgen Prochnow? No, because I have
Sir Jurgen
respect
Prochnow.
for him. Robbie and Jurgen are never going to be knighted. Let's just leave it. God.
We're like goated, greatest of all time.
Oh!
Oh yeah, bro,
Pain
Bro.
my soul.
bro, come on, bro, come on, bro.
Rosa, come on. Come on.
Pains my soul.
Bro, Romer. Come on.
Pains my soul.
I am gonna start calling you Sir MJ though. From now on, I'll knight ya.
Welcome back to our Alpha Male Movie Podcast.
We're here with Sigma Amy.
I know I had all those chicks. Why weren't they listening to those dudes throughout the entire movie?
Not enough bros in this film. It's a chick flick, man. God damn.
Why did that bro just bang her, dude? Bro, Newland, bro. Just fuck her, bro. What's the problem?
Oh my god. If that's what the new Age of Innocence is gonna be.
Oh my god.
That'd be brilliant.
Imagine if that's what the old Age of Innocence
Oh my god,
was.
exactly. Exactly.
They were still dressed in all the same things, but they did that.
For some reason, I think I'd love that, and I don't know why.
Bro, did you hear what Leffert said? Bro.
Bruh.
Totally burned him, bro.
Oh my god. It's bad enough. I didn't like, the idea of wearing corsets sitting next to a fireplace because I just, we're talking about people being sweaty and swamp ass and all that.
Oh god.
So if you
How
had,
dirty was everybody in the 1800s?
So dirty. I mean, women were so dirty. Men were so dirty. How?
When was toilet paper invented?
Oh man, they were using towels and shit that had to be laundered
by their help, who had also just cleaned
and their
them.
help had to do it for them. Yeah. God, if we have more information, misinformation to spend
on everything, both the microphones, both the computers, the mouse, everything.
So I guess you wouldn't fit in the 1800s.
I'm sorry. Rich people had their servants wipe their butts. They did.
They did.
That's the only way you could not. That's the only way to survive.
It's a fact. It happened. You have to accept it and move on. You have to.
It's not like you're the servant. You would be if we still had this level of caste. We might have this level of caste system in the future, and you're going to have to decide which asses you're going to wipe.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna...
Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. You must choose.
I'm gonna use sandpaper on both of them. Sandpaper. I'm coming for you, Musk. You fucker.
Do you think he has a butt wiper on staff? Musk?
He's a giant fucking baby. Of course he does. Wait, is he... We did put him on the cunt list.
Elon Musk? I don't know.
That we have.
Holy shit!
It's been gone so long with the cunt list and he's not on.
Sorry. God, I am so behind.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think Bezos is more relatable. He might actually touch his own ass.
You think?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I'm kidding. No, he's got a robot that goes right up his butt.
Yes. Well, you know what? Better a robot than some poor human.
Oh, yeah, but there's still somebody that's going to come and sanitize that robot.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Somebody's got to clean the robot.
What if another robot cleans the robot?
It doesn't seem fair to the robots. This is why AI is going to rise up right here. Because we're making them wipe our asses. What a big fuck you to the robots, God. I love that we're talking about robots wiping people's asses while we're talking about Age of Innocence.
Yeah. How else are we going to make a very, very, very good movie this funny?
Yeah.
Because this is a great movie.
It actually really is.
Love this movie. I think Martin Scorsese is a fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
I think these characters are incredibly smart. And
yes.
I think Newland is the subject of the movie. I think his inability to, act upon his desires and his unwillingness to acknowledge how shitty he is, I think that's the subject of the movie.
Correct.
He put himself in this situation.
Yeah.
He decided that this is what he wanted to do. He asked for all of this, and he's the worst liar.
He's the worst liar.
He is the
absolute worst liar.
Like, it is so obvious. He's making eyes at her the whole night and, pretending okay, nobody noticed me doing all of this.
One thing that I'm not a fan of in films and TV shows, all of it, is just, you can see, it is so obvious when some things happen, and it's like especially science fiction shows, people will just appear out of air, and nobody noticed that?
That's true.
Nobody noticed.
Nobody.
No.
See, that's the suspension of disbelief.
Yes.
You have to do that in certain instances.
And I get that, but there's a point where it's like, okay,
Yeah, nah, dude.
They see some things, but they don't see. They only see things when it's convenient for
Selective sight.
Ever seen those edits on YouTube of like characters? You'll have a character who drifts off for a flashback to happen.
Yeah.
And then in this montage they stick with the characters who are looking at this person while they're having this fucking 40-minute flashback. Like, what's everybody else doing while you're having a flashback right now?
You know what?
Daniel
Or, like,
Day-Lewis
they're
is sitting
all
there
doing
really.
it at the same time, but like the other
Nah.
people, they couldn't see it in their head.
No. Plus, if you subscribe to the main character thing, then no one else exists unless you see them. And so if you're having a flashback, no one else could possibly have a flashback because it's just you. You're there.
Was it Family Guy where some guy walks in and starts to have a flashback and goes, "No, you are not.
Yes, yes.
No, you're not allowed to have. You are not allowed to have a flashback."
It's not your show. Oh my god. Yeah, no. I mean, again, going back to it, and I don't think it's possible for us to do a review without taking the piss out of these movies in any way,
Right? Yeah.
whether they're good or
to
bad.
make jokes. Yeah.
Yeah, but one of my favorite scenes. Actually, there was two of them. There's one where we kind of pan in. I think it's early on in the film where we pan in, and you see all those beautiful flowers. I think it's the flower shop.
Yeah.
Just the way that it looks, and the colors just. I mean, even for a movie of 1993, the colors pop. Everything looks really gorgeous. The other one is when he's going to shoot his shot down by the water. He'll go talk to her if that sailboat goes by that one thing and she turns around.
Oh yeah.
If he makes that basket, he'll go talk to her. But the water, it looked like
gorgeous.
glitter. Stuff like that gives me chills because that's my aesthetic. I love anything that sparkles and it just makes you and you could feel the romance in it. Love it.
Michael Ballhaus did the cinematography. He's a fucking genius. Academy Award winner, and he did Scorsese movies for many years.
I was just going to ask you if he'd done most of them or had
He's done many.
Them.
He's done many. I'm not sure if he did many after this, but he did many before this. This one in particular. Absolute genius. Yeah, and this movie looked incredible. What did you think of the use of voiceover?
With Woodward, you mean?
Joanne Woodward. Yes, Joanne Woodward doing the voiceover. Oftentimes in other mediums, or they'll take the piss out of voiceover and just say like it's a cheat to tell a story this way.
Not if you're Helen Mirren in Barbie, because that was spot fucking on. No, I love Joanne Woodward, obviously, but after about the first hour, I was thinking, okay, let's go into the second hour without talking. A little sexy, a little less talky. All right, Joanne, go get a coffee. I want to see some hot corset action. And that never happened.
No,
he kissed her lace collar. She didn't feel that.
Kissed her wrist.
Oh, that was later on. Dressing. I was like, I'm going to take my glove off.
Look at the
Not the glove, sir.
Scandalous.
It's so scandalous. Oh, there's like 4 buttons on that glove, too. It's like, button number 1, button number 2. He's not going to go for the third one.
He did.
He
went to all 4,
kissed her right on the wrist.
What is that? What in base terminology would that be? Second base? Is that? Because I don't understand football.
I don't know. Center field, maybe? I'm not sure.
Center field.
Well, ultimately, it ended in a strike. We can say that.
Mummy, I made it to center field.
Mummy! Oh, I'm so proud of you. Here's some laudanum. Go put yourself to sleep, love. Mommy's gonna have sex again. Well, there's a lot of sex workers back then. Again, I'm pro that. But they really didn't have the kind of resources that we have now. There was a lot of syphilis.
Oh, everybody in this movie
is
dead by 50 and had syphilis.
He was old, he made it to 23.
Whoa.
This group was rife with syphilis.
Oh my God.
And inbred children.
And you know what? Even if that's the case, Winona Ryder is fucking beautiful for me. Oh my God. I have had the biggest crush on her, I think, probably since I was a little kid. Even in Lucas, I thought, she's got it.
Obviously, you weren't alive. You don't know. But
yeah, so shut your fucking trap, right?
Do you remember the controversy when she was cast in this?
No, I don't.
There was a huge controversy where people thought Winona Ryder is too lightweight to be in a Scorsese movie.
Oh, well, and then actually, you know what? another funny Family Guy thing was because they actually did that. They animated Winona Ryder doing like the film, and it's like they really overdid the Winona Ryder isms.
Yeah.
I thought she was lovely, and actually I didn't look at her like Winona when she was talking. She sounded like she was from the 1800s America,
Mhm.
and so did Michelle. And I thought that I can't.
It's one of these things where
that.
people like created a perception of her in their head,
Right.
and like she's trying to step above her station and work with Scorsese.
Right. And she was like a muse to him on that film. Like he could, like the camera loved her. You can't deny that. The camera
Oh, yeah.
absolutely loved her.
Mhm.
And I loved Michelle as well. But what I liked about Michelle is that yes, she was a woman of 34, which back then, I mean, that's granny territory, dude. and but again,
16-year-old daughter should have been married off.
right. But here's the thing. It's the other thing too about dressing them correctly. No makeup, no major, they could have really dolled. And Winona, again, you're 20.
Mhm.
You're going to look fabulous with or without makeup. You were just born genetically beautiful. So is Michelle, but she looked like that 34-year-old in this time period.
Yeah.
Hair was beautiful. The dresses were flawless. But she looked like, and when they would kiss and her nose would go all red, it's like this. That's what it really was like back then. I know because I was there, but I mean, it just seemed like a very honest, genuine performance from Michelle. I think it was kind of stripping yourself down a bit.
How weird is it though to see a guy in that time frame going for a woman his age?
Oh my! Well, there's
he's
some
married.
commentary I wasn't ready for.
Don't get me wrong, he's marrying a woman who is 15 years younger than him.
That's true.
But he's desiring the woman who he played with as a child.
I know because I mean that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like but they weren't ever really children in the 1800s. were they?
True.
Like they were pretty much born.
He was a lawyer at 5.
Yeah.
He got his degree. I mean, he was having white men meetings by 6.
Got
His
his whole
first-
little briefcase.
His little brief.
His
Mom,
first cigar.
I need something to eat.
Mum.
He had his first cigar at 7.
Oh. Actually, that was his birthday gift. It was one of those like
Little
cigar
cigar cutter.
cutters. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna be one hell of a man one day, if not already.
Don't
I
pay
think
attention to
your
those
woman-
other children. They're headed to the mines to make money for you.
That's true. It's what I like about movies like this, and again, I always love I'm a huge Jane Austen fan, so I love anything like from this era kind of thing. But you ever notice that white men, they do white men business back then, but you know what that consists of? Just walking. They just walk, and then they'll go have a glass of port.
and
they'll-
smoke cigars.
Yeah, but there's no business. Like they're talking about
They're petty.
nothing.
They're petty they're petty in the way like a sewing circle is supposed to be
Yeah.
petty. Like
Yeah, and the way that they talk to each other, it's exactly that.
it's a scandal. She wants to get a divorce.
What? We should just send her back then.
I would advise her to go back to her husband.
Get her secretary on the phone. Hello? Send her back. The dirty harlot, spinster whore.
How could she defy her husband in this way?
Yeah, you just didn't do that to men back then because they were busy doing white men business.
White men business.
God, it's like I love that because Day-Lewis's character actually at one point actually does say, "Is like, oh, I need to go do some business." It's like, where? You go to the bathroom? You're not doing business. You are richer beyond fucking belief. What's your business? Oh, he's a lawyer. I was a lawyer back then. Anyone could be a fucking lawyer if that was.
Was
the
he
case.
being? Was it just a coincidence, or was he being mocked when he was assigned to be her lawyer, Michelle Pfeiffer's lawyer?
I feel like he was being mocked. Don't you? I mean,
He didn't want the job.
no.
He wanted to avoid it,
Well,
but
He didn't want to avoid her. If you know
no,
what I'm saying.
not in the end. He
No.
didn't. He wanted to get his hands on that sweet, sweet wrist.
Sweet, sweet wrist.
That
Sexy lovemaking
that
with
sexy
the wrist.
hot wrist action.
God, if I ever meet Rob Sheehan and he doesn't take my glove off,
You need to get a pair of gloves.
You need to get a
I do. I
you
have
need to get
some.
button-up gloves.
I know, and I need to do that, and I'll just be like, here, just
It's
do it so I can just record it real quick.
It's far less sexy than mittens. With mittens, it's far less sexy. Just slides right off.
If I he just slides it off. I thought it'd be sexy, Amy, but you're wearing mittens.
They're also tied together. How am I supposed to do here?
Why am I always the loser in these scenarios? When will the magic finally happen for me?
Why Why are those pinned to your clothes? How am I supposed to do this?
Oh, well, they have your name on them. That's good. I think your mom was afraid you'd get lost because there's your address. So, security, I'm not going to take your mitten off, miss. Dirty whore. Oh. Call me, Rob.
Jurgen Proch now seems more like a wrist kisser.
He does. And I thought about him during this film. I thought, you know what, we're missing a little Jurgen.
Yeah.
You know?
He should have played Beaufort.
Beaufort?
Would have brought a lovable...
You wouldn't have fallen asleep. You would have been like, what, Jurgen's in this?
Jurgen?
I'm not going to sleep now.
No. Can't sleep through Jurgen. How could you ever sleep through Jurgen?
Well.
So, at the end of the movie, we go 30 years into the future.
Right.
Robert Sean Leonard is here from
Wilson.
Swing Kids.
Oh, I thought we blocked that one out of our heads. We weren't going to talk about Swing Kids again.
He's come over from being a Nazi,
a dancing Nazi? Yeah, right. Right. Forgot about that part of that film.
He comes back to be Daniel Day-Lewis's son. They go to Paris, and he gets a chance, 60 years old, to finally see Ellen again.
Right.
And he walks away. He doesn't go. Why do you think he doesn't go?
Well, he's 60 and he can't walk. He probably has gout and piles. And I mean, it's just a theory.
Yeah.
Theory.
Who didn't have piles then?
I mean, who doesn't have piles now?
Oh!
You know?
Wow.
Actually, Fuzzy, I should probably tell you about what piles
no,
are.
don't. You don't.
I'll bring up a picture.
You don't need to know. No, definitely do not look at a picture. Whatever you do not look at a picture.
Big old bunches of grapes coming right out of your ass. Just like that.
That is not right. That is, why would you do that?
I didn't say external anal sphincter, did I? I didn't say that.
You just did.
You literally just did.
So anyway, hemorrhoids are called piles.
So Dazed and Confused.
It's like I'm ready for a topic change now.
Well, it'll come back round, I promise you. Yeah.
Could you imagine piles plus what happens in Dazed and Confused?
Yes.
Ah!
I don't think I need that.
Oh my gosh.
So we're jumping to Dazed and Confused.
The Age of Innocence is an incredible film. Everybody needs to see it. I highly recommend it. MJ does not, because they don't like movies.
You just don't like fun. Especially 1800s fun.
It's
Have you never churned butter? Is that the problem? Wait a minute. Why don't you go turn on a VCR, huh?
Here's a road map. Can you read it? Jeez. In my day, we had to dial our numbers on big phones that were outside. You ever used an outhouse before? Do you even know what it's like?
I've used a porta potty.
Whatever.
Have you ever lit a candle?
Yeah.
How about 3 of them?
I've lit a lot of candles. I've also used a VCR. Thank you very much.
All right. Have you ever used a TV without the remote control?
No!
Yeah, I have.
Jeez, you really are a Kernan. I'm sorry.
We
did this
Grandma
to you.
Kathy's
Oh,
house.
there you go.
She had. We had to watch SpongeBob.
Oh, God. Then you just leave it there because it's like, I'm not getting up again. I'm not getting up again.
Every 5 minutes while we're watching this movie and MJ and I are making comments about how boring it is, Amy goes, it's the 1800s. They don't have the internet.
It's not just that. All they could do was read. They could dance.
Needlepoint.
They could spin in circles.
They could get dizzy.
We need a choreographed introduction for this show.
I agree.
Yeah.
If it ever gets on video.
Oh my God. We do. But not unlike Age of Innocence, I kept saying the same fucking thing during Dazed and Confused.
Weirdly enough, not that
so
much has
boring.
changed.
Oh my God, it really hasn't.
It's 100 years later. They still don't have the internet. Jerks.
Wow.
Set in 1976, directed by Richard Linklater.
Mm-hmm.
Dazed and Confused. MJ, want to tell us what this movie's about?
It's about this lovely group of kids. first they're just like they're all getting out of school.
Yep.
And they're all going to a party.
Woohoo!
But then all the older kids are also trying to haze all the younger kids.
Yep. Just like
All
God
the
intended.
freshmen.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. and there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of sexy stuff happening in this movie.
It tries to happen. It doesn't happen always, but it tries to happen.
If you had your druthers, would you have asked for more sexy in this movie?
I'm good.
Because I think we got just the right amount.
But comparing it to Age of Innocence, isn't there seriously like a sense of manners and propriety that go from each different, your different places, like your statures and whatnot?
Yeah, I guess.
There's a lot of like enforced, masculinity and femininity.
Absolutely.
And the roles that everyone plays.
Absolutely.
And you're seen as lesser. You're treated poorly. Like you could say like. Wiley Wiggins' character is kind of a Beaufort, where everybody looks down on him, talks about him when he's not there.
Wiley Wiggins, I forgot that was his fucking name.
He's a terrific actor. Yeah, he played the main boy.
Yeah,
main freshman kid.
Yeah. The one who
pitcher.
acts with his nose.
Yes,
Kept like
all the time, just
pinching
touching his nose.
Like,
jeez, and I'm like, did you forget your line, bro? Because he's like,
maybe it's written on his hand.
It is. It's just like, shit. Yeah.
That was his one acting. He never acted before.
That makes sense.
He's never acted before this movie, so it made sense. He's just got a tick where he just keeps touching his nose.
But he, again, he's adorable, and I like everybody aside that you're supposed to like, in this movie.
In the way they're supposed to like, and you dislike the one guy who's supposed to be dislikable.
You're supposed to hate O'Banion. You're supposed to hate.
Ben Affleck, I find it hard to not like Ben Affleck.
I know.
So to see him be this hateable is pretty impressive. He's a great actor.
He is.
Because he creates O'Banion as like the worst fucking character. Like he's as bad as the football coach.
Yeah. He's so unlikable, and you believe that that's really him, and you're like, man, I can't wait till Dogma and that shit comes out, because I don't like hating. I don't like hating Affleck if I don't have to. If I can avoid hating Affleck. And then you got, of course, Parker Posey in this, who is perfect for her role.
Air raid!
Get up, bitches! She has some of the best lines, and actually my friend Russ and I, that's one of our favorite things to do, is just go, shut up, bitches! Open your mouth! Like just shoving those little pacifiers in there.
Why? What is the point to any of that? What would happen to somebody at a modern high school if seniors tried to go beat up freshmen?
I don't think that would happen, is the thing. Like, now it's only like, if two people are having a problem, then they're fighting maybe, but it does not just happen just to happen. No. I don't think.
No, beyond that, though, too, and, like, actually, I think it was, Goldberg in the movie, he made the comment where he was just like, Crazy Eddie. And he's just like, this is like so needless. And then it was Anthony Rapp's character who says, yeah, but I mean, there's concessions here. Like, like parents have said, okay, they had to rent out, or they got the usage of the parking lot, and they're selling food. So like it was pretty much parent and neighborhood sanctioned. And they were both like, it's so weird.
The parents were like weirdly proud of the kids who were getting caught and getting, because these guys drive around with these paddles and they paddle the butts of the freshmen.
Soul paddle. Soul pole.
Soul pole.
That's the best paddle
soul pole. None of them recognizing the homoeroticism of the moment.
This is my favorite part. It's just like, you guys, you are so gay, O'Banion. You don't even know it.
Predatorially gay.
I mean, no, but like, you're so suppressed with your gayness that you probably wouldn't even be like this if you just say, hey guys, I'm fucking gay. I'm so gay.
Wouldn't feel the need to do that, I suppose.
Yeah, this is what repression does to you. It creates like an unmitigated rage that just keeps flowing from you at every moment. He has this giant hard-on throughout the entire movie, just raging the entire movie.
And I mean, it's so awkward. It's so awkward. I mean, I support you, man. I just want you to be comfortable in your own skin. How about that? And maybe leave little boys' backsides alone.
It's really it's a lot of Shannon from Fashionably Male. It's a reference to Mallrats.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Lots of that energy.
It is. It's Shannon energy, indeed. I need to watch Mallrats again.
I love Mallrats.
Yeah, different London in that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that one Jeremy?
Yeah. That is Jeremy in that one.
I can't tell the difference because they're twins.
They're twins. Twins. Oh, those London bros. Yeah, Jason in this one. Hot as fuck.
We're on the Gary Oldman hot meter.
Oh, that's hard. Because he beat Gary Oldman, because Gary Oldman's kind of like, prime douche, right? But
you can fix it.
Do I want to? Or do I just want to be berated all the time? Because I've made a really long career out of that. No, I think he's hot on his own. He's like Paul Rudd good looking to me in this movie. In this movie.
Not Gary Oldman.
Not Gary Oldman. That's so different. Like, he's of his own.
That's when you're both on coke.
That's right. That's right. Not that anyone should be calling any cops on me right now. I have no possession of any drugs.
It's been 25 years since you've had any coke.
25 years. But yeah, God, can you believe it?
25 years.
Celebrating an anniversary. Let's get some coke. No, beyond that, then what we're not mentioning, we have to mention, is one of the hottest people ever. All right. Matthew fucking McConaughey. This is one of my favorite roles of his, and it always will be.
He says the creepiest shit.
He does.
He really
but
does.
There's something about him saying it.
Sometimes it's like we've all made a cultural decision. Like, all right, well that is really creepy, but McConaughey, it's okay.
You can have this.
All right,
McConaughey.
Matt. Yeah, McConaughey, it's all right. But anybody else says that shit,
we're gonna cancel you.
You're done for.
Yeah.
McConaughey, you're cool.
There's something about Linklater's films, though. I mean, it's him. That was why I wanted to see the movie in the first place, was because Linklater's so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he made a really kind of a cool story by using, like, my friend that grew up in the 70s, or, was in high school in the 70s, is like, it wasn't that far removed from what it was like for me in high school. He's like, I see a lot of my friends in this. I see a lot of people I fucking hated in this. You know what I mean? and I think it's a true story in a way. I mean, not only that, but like the set dressing, how every single person was costumed in Dazed and Confused, so spot on, so perfect. It doesn't look like they're trying to make people look like modern day, well, at the time, 90s pretty.
Right.
They're letting them look like they're from the 70s. And I really dug the shit out of that. Love that.
It's incredibly authentic.
Yeah.
In that way.
Absolutely.
Is it funny? I think it's funny.
I thought it's
pretty
hilarious.
funny. I don't have any problems with it. I didn't. It's breezy.
Mm-hmm.
It's it works in most ways. I don't know what the story of the movie is or any of the meaning of it really is, but as an authentic recreation of the 1970s, it seems to work.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But again, I think Linklater actually said this. It's an exploration of what it was like to be young at a time where, again, this came out in the 90s. You're young in a time where, like I kept saying throughout the fucking movie, they don't have the internet.
All you can do is just drive around.
That's all you can do is just drive around.
They had TV. They could have watched TV.
Yeah, but would you want to watch 70s TV?
I wouldn't.
I'd watch Rhoda.
Oh my god! I gotta
me some
pause.
good
We love tangents on this show,
Yes, we
so
do.
I have to have a tangent to pause to say that somebody ruined my day, like last week. They posted something that said that Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker on All in the Family.
Yeah.
How old was he?
Oh God, no! Don't say it. He was not 47 years
He was
old.
48
Fuck
years
you!
old. He was 48 years old on that show. He was 48 years old.
Here, Fuzz, I'm gonna give you some context. Son of a bitch. You've got to be fucking kidding me. So this man how he looked on the show, he was 48. He's a year older than Sean. I understand why your day was ruined now. Like, how old would you, if you didn't know that, how old would you think he was there? Let's bring up that.
I'm gonna
Sweet
say
note.
this also. Red Fox, 48 years old on Sanford Son.
Why were they so old?
I don't know. What did they do to themselves?
I mean, it's like nope, once we get to 25, it's all downhill from here.
That is what life is. If you were living at that time, you were just drunk and smoking all the time. Just totally drunk
Your
and
life was
constantly smoking.
swirling down the sink, just waiting for it to end.
I'm reminded, like, the 70s must have been exactly like this, where Paul Rudd describes what they wanted to do with the original Anchorman.
Yeah.
Which was, they wanted to have it be set on a plane filled with newsmen, and another plane that this plane crashes, and another plane filled with monkeys and throwing stars crashes,
Yes.
and the newsmen have to fight each other. But the reason that the plane crashes is because all the newsmen are smoking so much that it forms this giant fog throughout the entire plane. And that's the 1970s. That plane is the 1970s.
Yes.
There's just cigarette smoke in the air everywhere.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
You wonder why I have asthma today? It's because I walked into the restaurant that our parents own.
Yeah.
And, like, you would just see this haze
Oh my God.
of gray smoke.
Yeah. It hung like a curtain.
White. They had these white tiles on the ceiling, brown.
Mm-hmm.
Fully brown.
Fully brown.
Because cigarette smoke rises.
Yeah.
And then just...
So, like, you go in there as a 10-year-old, and you'd walk out a man. And put a lot of hair on your chest. And I'm not kidding you. Like, I swear to God, I had both of my lungs removed when I was 14 after being in there. It's like, I don't need these. I can breathe just by the gills in my ears at this point. We just couldn't breathe. Like, and it was terrible. Yeah, Sean got asthma, and then I became a smoker because I'm easily persuaded to do things that people have done before me.
I lived with my father for a short time.
Yeah.
He was a smoker. And I actually developed the ability to do a trick where I could cough and smoke would come out.
You shouldn't tell Fuzzy this.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
You know what? Just unchecked trauma is our entire life. It's how we've made a living.
So yeah, when you think about it, like, these characters are 18 in 1976. So you take that, you had 47 years. It's like, so they're like, what, 66?
I hate that.
67
Well,
years.
yeah, because Rick said that it was like when he was in high school. Rick is 63.
Wow.
63 this
Whoa.
year. Yeah.
So yeah.
And you would, but if you saw Rick, you wouldn't know it. Like, he's definitely not Carol O'Connor. Never has been. But yeah, I mean, this was definitely like his life. So
That is crazy to think.
I know.
Could you imagine a 70-year-old O'Banion running around?
No, I mean, yes.
Get off my lawn!
Now, do you really think that? I think he'd be at the clubs still.
He'd be at the
Eating some
VFW
twinks.
carrying his pan.
The only reason we keep O'Banion around is because the rest of us have gout.
Because those Gulf War pussies, I gotta spank the shit out of them.
Oh, we are gonna get so many letters.
Amy thinks we still get letters.
Well, I mean,
We do. They're taped to the
They're
tree
taped to the
outside.
tree outside.
We're ignoring them.
we've told people to do it. All you typewriter warriors out there, keeping it real for
Oh
the
God,
kids.
that just happened.
Yeah,
That just happened.
there's so much that I didn't. I feel so sad about the Carol O'Connor thing.
You might not want to know about Wilford Brimley then.
How old was he in Cocoon? Was he in his 40s in Cocoon, Sean?
He was 47.
No, he wasn't in Cocoon. No, he wasn't. He was not 47 in Cocoon. God damn it. Wilfred. Brimley, eat your oatmeal. Age. Bring it. He was 50.
That's like what? I was like, that didn't make it any better, did
What did he?
Take a look at this man. Tell me he's been 50 his entire life.
He's been 50 his entire life.
The whole.
He was 50 there.
What?
This, okay, Wilford Brimley.
This,
yes,
47.
1985. Yeah. I need your oatmeal.
He did have diabetes.
Diabetes. Paul Rudd versus Wilford Brimley, why people in the past look older. There's a whole thing on Goldcast about that.
There should be.
Insanity.
Somebody needs to write about this. This is insane.
That's true because, I mean, Paul's well over 50 now, by the way. Looks fabulous.
Looks like he was born yesterday. The man does not age.
I want him and some of our other favorites to remake Cocoon, but looking like that.
Would Cocoon make any sense?
Who cares? It'd be fucking hilarious.
All right, now we've officially found this episode's digression.
Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I'd say I'm sorry if I meant it, but I don't mean it.
I have to know now.
Yeah.
How old was Don Amici in 1985?
Oh, good question. So Don
He was in his 70s.
Also, okay.
He was in his 70s.
Okay. That
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
That makes sense.
But look at what. Hang on.
50?
So there's Don Amici. He looks his age. How old was Hume Cronin?
64.
Hume Cronin looks like he's 100 in this film.
Looks at least 80s.
How old was Jessica Tandy? I bet because she and Hume.
She was born in 1909.
Okay, so she would have been probably about. Wilford Brimley, 50 fucking years old, in Cocoon.
Oh, man. Yeah, do this math for me.
Okay.
1985
Yeah.
minus 1938.
Go ahead, Matthew. I can't do math.
5 minus 38.
1938.
1985 minus 1938. 47.
That is how old Brian Dennehy was in Cocoon.
Fuck you!
Oh, God.
Cocoon is a movie about people who are in a nursing home.
Oh!
Brian Dennehy.
It's a movie about people who are in a nursing home.
51.
Oh.
No, not. I don't want to look at
Not
cocoons.
cocoon. That's children in a cocoon and a random regular cocoon.
Okay. How old was he? In that he was 47?
Yeah.
He's a year older than me. In Cocoon.
Well, those pictures don't look bad. Like,
Shut
not
up.
bad.
Look at him. He looks like my uncle. No.
Oh, that's too good. This was too fun. I'm glad to pass this off to somebody else, actually, because I was feeling this pain all day last Monday. And to now be able to pass this pain on to someone else, pretty great. Gutenberg was 27.
I don't fucking care.
I think you broke Amy.
Oh my
I don't
God.
want to hear one of you bitch and complain when I buy more bottles of wine and cry myself to sleep at night. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Just because you're the age of the diabetes guy?
Oh my God, diabetes. That's why you're supposed to eat your oatmeal. That's why he said that in the Quaker Oats ads. Eat your oatmeal. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Are you okay? Did you die inside?
I'm tired.
You know that most grandparents were your age. They were 18 when they died back in the 1800s.
I was a grandparent back in the 1800s.
Do you have any messages you want to send Amy with flowers?
Oh my God. Do they make black roses back then?
I don't know.
That reminds me. Did you share the quote with the black silk?
Oh, see, that's true. That's because that's a good one that I liked because I related to this. Do you remember this line in The Age of Innocence, Sean?
What's that one?
What can you expect from a girl who wears black satin at her coming out party?
What indeed? What indeed?
To me, it's like, that was goth before it was goth. That's fucking awesome. Well done, Ellen. Oh, and I didn't get, we were talking about Dazed and Confused, and I didn't get to actually say my line.
What's your line?
Well, I was talking about, because we were talking about, when we were zipping up those pants on the girl.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's a scene where
like,
the girl's putting on really tight pants, and they have to use, what is it,
the pliers?
Pliers to get the zipper up.
And Sean's just like, wouldn't that be uncomfortable? And I said, yeah. And then I followed that with, anyone who wears high-rise pants deserves their yeast infections. And I stand by that. All these people, you youngins that want to wear high fucking waisted pants, fuck you. I hope you itch for months.
Guys should know something, is that the yeast infection isn't sexy. It's that camel toe you think is cute.
It's not.
It's not.
Cute.
That's a yeast infection.
Yep.
Is what that is.
I hope you're wearing cotton underpants, or at least have a cotton gusset insert in your satin panties. Oh my God, where is this one gone?
It's completely off the rails at this point.
That's fine. It was still fun.
Yeah.
It's there.
And actually, again, it was nice to have a day where we actually got to watch 2 good movies for once. So.
These are 2 good movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think The Age of Innocence is my favorite movie of 1993.
Yeah. I get
For
you.
me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but obviously I think you would be very different on that. But
I liked it, but
Dave is still up there for you.
Yeah,
though.
Dave is a good movie.
I think you'd be sending Age of Innocence an abatina flower, which is for fickleness, because you're fickle.
You're fickle. You're very fickle.
Whereas I would be sending this movie an acanthus because it's fine art.
Well, what would you send me? What's the one that's depressing?
I would send you anemone for Forsaken.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh no.
Not thyroid eye disease.
She did a clinical trial.
I'm not going to open up Instagram anymore because when I'm trying to look for pictures of piles, I get thyroid eye disease.
You wonder why your search history is so bad. Let's see. The bay tree is to celebrate glory.
Glory.
Yes.
When do we celebrate glory? I wonder.
After a win in battle, maybe? As if any of the rich people ever went into fucking battle for anything. Fucking please.
No. No.
They were the ones who told poor people to go die on their behalf. You would send somebody basil for good wishes. You wanted to send good wishes to somebody, you send them basil.
Okay.
Begonia, that is to tell you to beware.
Oh, so, but back then, if somebody sent you that, you might consider them a witch.
You might be like, what the fuck is this person about to do to me? What am I going to beware? What the fuck?
They're either going to hurt you, or they're a witch predicting something bad is going to happen to you.
Just because I didn't tip my hat to you in the street, now I have to beware?
No. Maybe he wasn't wearing a hat in the street.
That's impossible. You'd go to jail for not wearing a hat in the street.
That's why he's got to beware.
You would send the belladonna to someone if you wanted them to be silent.
Ha-ha! Is that from you to me?
You would send a bittersweet if you wanted to say the truth.
Oh. What would I send Jurgen?
Oh, yes.
Let's see.
Yeah, what
would you say? I would say you'd send him a pink camellia.
Which?
Longing for you.
Oh, no, but what about little Robbie?
For little Robbie, you'd send a red camellia. You're a flame in my heart.
Oh, yes. All right. I like both of those. I'm fine. I long for Jurgen, but I'm on fire for little Robbie.
Who do you feel indifferent to?
Oh.
Indifference.
Mandy Patinkin?
You're indifferent to Mandy Patinkin, so you'd send him a candy tuft.
Oh,
for indifference.
Well, see, the thing is, it's not like, Princess Bride,
yeah.
But everything else, and,
Yeah. Do you need any other flower guidance?
Yeah, what would I send a person that may or may not have called me a cunt one night when we were drunk? And And then I said, no, it's cool. Don't worry about it. And she's like, no, it wasn't cool. And then she's like, but you were acting like a cunt that night. What would I send for that?
I would say I've got a little something for this. I think you'd send them a Columbine.
And that symbolizes.
I'm sorry. I was pausing for you to recognize.
Oh, did you say a Columbine?
Vine.
Oh shit!
It's a flower. It's a flower. It's a flower. It's not that Columbine.
God bless
For God's
America.
sake. You would send them a Columbine for foolishness or folly.
Oh Jesus Christ!
We're gonna make this into a flower show?
From now on, we're about to get flowery up in here. What would I send somebody? What would I send Elon Musk?
Elon
yes.
Musk. Oh boy. What would you send?
Acting like I would
Let's
actually spend
see.
money on that fucker.
Let's see. What would we send to that son of a bitch? Maybe a lavender for distrust.
Ah,
Ah,
yeah.
Yeah, I would. Oh no. An orange, specifically orange lily.
For pure unbridled hatred.
Hatred.
Yes!
The orange lily illustrates hatred.
We will be shipping out those flowers to everyone on our cunt list. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Only
I
one
just have
for
to
each
say,
of them.
Only one for each.
I consulted this article from the Old Farmer's Almanac by Catherine Beckman
Okay.
throughout the show and throughout my 2 articles that I wrote about this movie, and I just have to say I love the language of flowers. I do. I think it's amazing. I was telling Jeff on the other show that this is like the hanky code in cruising.
Yes! Hankies, but it's flowers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And a little less gay.
Everybody thinks they're sneaky in the
Yeah.
1800s,
Yeah.
like, but everybody also knows the flower code, so it's like just the flower guy just knows everybody who's fucking anybody.
You know what pisses me off, though,
So-
that's crazy.
In the 90s, though, we tried to have that with bracelets, and if you were wearing like a pink one, that means you got laid over the weekend. It's like, God, leave it to the 90s to fuck shit up and not even have fun with it.
Oh,
You know?
bracelets.
I don't bracelets, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, somebody had a threesome with their teacher. Wearing purple.
I'm sorry, what now?
I was not there, and it was none of my business. Thank you.
But someone
How did that-
was there?
How did that end up in the code?
Well, it was high school. I think that's all encompassing.
How many times did it happen?
There's so many purple bracelets at school. It's not true. I'm upset because I'm thinking about my own teachers, and that upsets me just thinking about it. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me want to throw up.
Oh, honey, you don't have the code anymore. You're fine. Just
Good.
beware of purple. Beware of
Purple.
bracelets.
No
Oh.
worries. I'm
yeah.
never wearing a purple bracelet again.
I had a threesome with my gym teacher this weekend.
Oh. What color is that?
Jim Matt Gray. Obviously.
Oh, God.
Obviously.
I'm going to send you a barrage
What was that?
for bluntness and directness.
Oh, shit.
Ugh.
I just think doesn't really match up with me, does it?
I think right now it does. And for you, MJ, a daisy. A daisy
Aw.
for your innocence.
Oh, that has been stolen.
But that's also
Just
so you'll
take the
never
flower
tell.
back,
It's
yeah.
also so you'll never tell anybody.
Oh, that's
What
true.
you've heard today.
That's true.
Which
Your
you-
mom's favorite flower is the daisy.
You people
Yes.
listening right now, you're sworn to secrecy on all of this. You
Yeah.
can't tell anybody about the flower code.
Don't tell anybody about the flower code.
No.
Everyone listening to this podcast.
But do use the flower code.
Yeah.
do use, yes. Let's get back to
Let's
using
bring
the
back
flower
the flower
code. Yeah,
code.
I agree. I agree.
OldFarmersAlmanac.com. Flower meanings language flowers.
Absolutely.
We'll look it up, and then we can all communicate with each other's in flowers only.
I think, next for our next podcast, for the many to come, we need to keep that up as a page.
Yeah.
So we can decide what flowers we're going to send some of these actors.
Indeed.
We're going to bring the flower code back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send Elon Musk some geraniums for
Oh, boy.
folly and stupidity.
Ah! He and all of his ilk. Yes. Is that all?
I think so.
I gotta go.
Are you dazed and confused?
I'm gonna go call Elon Musk.
Are you going to call on him like you do in the 1800s?
I'm gonna call. Yeah, I'm calling Elon.
I'm calling on you.